I feel like the biggest thing that couldn't have been corrected, honestly, was just attention to detail. You know, I feel like we left a lot of plays on that field yesterday, and I feel like it just all comes back down to doing the little things like Coach talks about all the time, like just showing up to meetings on time, showing up, getting academics taken care of, all of that stuff. I feel like it just showed because it's like we did good some, and then obviously it was plays where it could have been better. And when you watch the film, it was a lot of us hurting ourselves instead of Kent State actually doing what they do. Much respect to them, though. They played hard and they did their job, but could have been a whole lot better, man. So we're just gonna strive to keep getting better this week.
Is that something that leads up into the week, or is that kind of during the game? You guys kind of figuring that out? What does that kind of?
Honestly, a little bit of both, because it's like, you know, during the week of practice, we're going to practice hard. I mean, obviously, we so far in the season to where, like, they're not going to throw anything new at you, but it's like at the same time, like, no matter how much you prepare, you're always going to get in the game and they're going to do something that you really didn't prepare for too much. So it's just pretty much, you know, just making sure you're watching film and practicing hard, and then on game day, we got to make sure we're coming to the sideline and telling coach, like, hey, they're doing this, so we can adjust like this. So, you know, it's all just a team and coach effort.
Yeah, I mean, with a big loss like that, I'm sure it's still fresh in your guys' mind, but knowing that you guys still had some attainable season goals still in front of you, how does that alleviate what you guys just faced on?
I mean, I feel like honestly it's a positive thing if we look at it the right way. I mean, honestly, we lost yesterday and we didn't play near as good as we should have. Kent State wasn't that much better of a team, but honestly, that's football. Sometimes you show up. We simply just got outplayed yesterday. So I think as long as we just go hard and use it as motivation, don't dwell on it, but at the same time, it happened, and we need to be aware, like, if we're not practicing hard with fire under our butt, then there's a problem. Like, it's motivation to just keep getting better, get that next win to secure that bowl game.
You mentioned self-inflicted wounds. How do you kind of patch those up and regroup going into your Tuesday?
Honestly, I think the biggest thing for us is, you know, just with everything that's going on with BG these past few seasons, just not dwelling on it. You know what I mean? Just making sure you learn. It's one thing to learn from this experience, but it's another thing to just stay negative. So just making sure that we're coming in, we're looking at what we did wrong, and making sure when we get to practice, we're actually applying that to practice. Don't go out to practice with nothing on your mind. Think about, man, I gave this up this game. I need to work on this step, this footwork, hands inside. So just really just emphasizing the fundamentals, honestly. Just got to continue to improve.
Resiliency characteristic that's carried throughout this program. How much deeper do you have to dig in order to come back and bounce back the way you did against after the loss to Buffalo?
I mean, honestly, we just have to keep digging, like you're saying. Like we've been through, even before I got here, we've been through stuff. This team has battled stuff that I can't imagine. So I think literally it's just all about us staying tight and staying as a family. You know what I mean? And knowing, you know, everything that's going on, you know, it's a whole bunch of negative stuff being said and stuff like that. And we just got to make sure that regardless of whatever's going on, we got each other. And if we do that and we just continue getting better, man, then the sky's the limit.
All right, I asked Coach this. How big of a confidence booster is it knowing you have a capable quarterback like Matt going into the rivalry?
I mean, it's big, man. It's just the biggest thing for us is protecting them, because I know especially with us on the O-line, we never really, at least for me, you know, I just came in, I never really worried about Matt. My whole goal is just making sure that Matt doesn't get touched. So it's definitely a big confidence booster, but overall it's more motivation for us to make sure we keep Matt clean so he can make those throws that we all know that he can make.
You mentioned that. How much pride you take in? I mean, when you see Matt get hit as much as he did last night, I mean, do you take it upon yourself to get guys at the offensive line and kind of figure out how to keep him clean?
Oh, no doubt. I mean, it hurts our pride big time. Even sit here right now, it's in the back of my mind. But like I said before, we can't dwell on it. But it hurts our pride a lot. Like we can't let three get hit. If he gets hit, we need to be there to pick him up. And first of all, we can't let him get hit. But it's like at the same time, we got to understand it is a football game. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. So at the end of the day, it's just all about how we bounce back.
Right. Obviously, the rivalry we just started. It's going to be your first, game against Toledo. What have teammates said to you in terms of this rivalry? Just how are you kind of preparing yourself for playing Toledo this week?
I mean, they just emphasized how serious it was. I mean, it was funny to me. They really didn't even have to say much, because I'm like, when you look at the film, you can feel the energy just on the film. You know, the little pushes after the play, all of this stuff. You can just tell that both of these teams really care a lot about this game. So I'm very excited for the Battle I-75. Can't wait.
And when you look at Toledo's D-line, I mean, they're very, very talented, just like you guys are. What's kind of the big going to be? I mean, I know it's early and you guys still looking at film, but what do you think is going to be the big key in terms of stopping them from getting them that?
just making sure that we focus on us. I mean, they're very talented. Arguably, if you look, they might be the most just right off talented team in the conference, maybe, because they have a lot of talent. So I think the biggest thing for us is just focusing on us. I mean, they're very good, but it's like at the same time, we also go against Carl Brooks every day. We go against Walter Hare. So just making sure that we're not taking nothing in practice for granted. We got to go hard, because one thing we know for sure, they're going to show up ready to play. So it's just all up to us to make sure we match that energy.